Hi everyone, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm DK.
I'm Rizzo.
And I'm Zero. And today on Anime Reaction Watch, episode 5 of Planetarian.
If you want to check out our reaction to the 5th episode of Planetarian, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comment section because we want to hear about your tears.
Oh, about your tears. He runs on your tears. So does this anime.
Salty.
So this is anime. And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga. And don't forget to like and share our videos.
And
thanks for watching.
Now you know what's in those key coffee cans that you always see them drinking.
You like seeing us cry, sick bastards. Oof.
Anyway, so this episode of Planetarian, it continues off where the last one left off. Like almost exactly.
Could I just say one thing real quick about the beginning of this episode? Because it was very short and very short-lived. That scared the shit out of me. Like,
Just the firefight?
no,
Or-
the
first
first
Oh, it's the
bullet.
yeah.
it opened up literally with a bang, literally, and
With the rampaging mech firing directly at the camera.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like-
kind of a wake-up call.
So when we pull up the anime, it has, you know, after all the credits roll, we pause it, and it has a little explosion off in the corner, and it's like, oh, so it's gonna start off. It's probably gonna start off with the grenade, another grenade or something like that.
Right.
It's gonna continue the fight.
Nope.
Boom.
But yeah, so it continues the fight. He ends up escaping the building and moving out to the street. He hides behind an abandoned armored personnel carrier.
And thanks to his superior knowledge of the mecha's tactics, because apparently this ain't his first rodeo, manages to position himself for the mother of all blue tube shots.
Right.
Damn.
But like, it's one thing to hit the moving target with like a bullet that shoots straight, but those grenades arc.
This is like that one in a million shot where you first start your game of Call of Duty, you look up and you chuck a fucking hatchet, and 30 seconds later, scalpel.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
One of those shots.
And then he goes on to, well, pretty much do that twice, right where it needed to be. Damn.
Oh,
He's got
yeah. The first one was to one of the knee joints.
Yep.
I think it was the front.
Yeah, it's the rear leg.
It was the
rear right
right-hand
leg.
Okay. And then the other one was probably to a main component on top.
Right on top of the dome.
Where he was planning on putting the first round.
But yeah, just as planned.
Sort of.
No.
Sort of.
No, not at all. So it used its Mac cannon on the armored vehicle that he was hiding behind, and it blasted it end over end into the building, and which collapsed a bunch of rubble on top of his leg and broke his leg. Ouch. And then as he's trying to get away, he ends up having to protect himself because the mecha is shooting a machine gun at him. And it dislodges the armored vehicle.
Trying to crush him with it.
And then he sees Yumemi just walking straight up to it.
Maintaining uber aggro.
He tries his hardest to make it in time, but just doesn't quite make it.
Now the interesting thing is, after the fact, you kind of get a little insight on what Yumemi was trying to do. She had attempted to make contact with the mecha, attempted to get it to shut down, attempted to emergency shut down, and it just straight up refused. I guess she had some sort of admin privileges. that she was able to tap into. But obviously, this mecha is a rampaging mecha, and so it wouldn't listen to commands.
Yeah.
Interesting that basically a in-store display has the ability to govern military hardware of that caliber.
Well, it's probably one of the I guess backup systems where a personnel interface robot is going to be able to govern a strictly military-based weapon. Probably something like that. I am thinking way too far deep into this, and that's mostly because I don't want to talk about what comes next.
Yeah, I mean, geopolitical robotic politics is definitely a more desirable subject to talk about than...
Yumemi got her legs blown off. Sorry, let me try that again.
She got...
No, let me try that again. Right. Yumemi got her legs blown off! Which also housed her main batteries.
Which is interesting.
If you were paying attention in the last episode, the reason why they had to stop so much was because her... she mentioned that, I guess the radiator or whatever in her legs, where her main batteries were located, were overloaded.
Yep.
But yeah, she lost her main batteries. All she had was 600 seconds of emergency power.
And we get to experience...
the death of an AI.
We get to experience all 10 minutes of it.
Ouch.
And actually, to be honest, I think that scene actually took a little bit longer than 600 seconds, but...
Yeah.
I almost want to go check.
Almost, but then you have to watch it again.
Actually, no, not really. You just have to figure out where it started and where it ended.
Fair enough.
But you really got a lot. Like, that was the majority of this episode, is Yumemi's dying words, basically.
Death scene.
And probably the worst. I mean, it really hits home when she starts having the conversation with Mr. Customer, who I forgot his name. I don't know.
If we know his name.
I don't think a name's been given at all. So you call him Mr. Customer like she does. I call him Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
I want to meet you.
I almost want to cut that out. Bastard.
I'm trying to let the mood here. It ain't working.
It really started to get to me when she started to really run out of power, and her system started to shut down.
And her voice, you can tell the modulation.
See him anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, it really started when she actually was talking to Mr. Customer and having that last conversation before her eyes finally just cut off. Made that last recording, gave her dying wish to be, continue working. And then, yeah.
His lie about having a new workplace on the other side with all of her co-workers and everything.
Oh, man.
And then the only thing that she wishes for is don't split heaven. Just don't split heaven.
Robots and humans together. Oh, man.
And yeah, that's basically the whole death scene.
And then she just shuts down.
Yep.
There you go, like you're shutting off your phone or something. That's it.
No, and then she also mentioned to him to grab her memory card. Because basically, if he can find a new body or repair that body if he wants to go back there, which I don't think he does, or something of that nature, then he'll be able to use that memory card to basically bring her back. I guess it's her operating system. Seems like a really small operating system for something that complex.
Yeah, especially
because it's a 128 gigabyte,
the same size
SD
card we use in our camera. Yeah.
I feel as though I should write an apology to our SD card for the swill that we put on it.
I don't think the programming languages or the operating systems, that are that compact have been invented yet. So I think we can give ourselves a break on that one.
Yeah.
At least I hope.
But it's a lot better than what the things I have on the SD card on my phone. For that,
you should apologize.
Just let your imagination set it.
I don't think they need to.
Please don't. But
I got a pretty slowly to bring up this movie. That was like.
Then we had a really long credit sequence.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
It was kind of unnaturally long. It was like 5 minutes.
But it really did give us a chance to actually cope.
At least come to terms with it all.
Decompress.
Yeah, it was.
Grieve.
It was really hard. It felt like it was. It was really tough just to completely ball out.
I mentioned it in an early episode in the series. I forget which one exactly, but this is just like that IKEA lamp commercial. Many of you feel sorry for this robot. That's because you're crazy. It has no feelings, and the new one's much better. I don't know if we're gonna get a new one at this rate. I really hope the movie delivers that.
Fucking key, man.
Damn.
Then we got a stinger at the end of the credits where
Soldier Boy.
He's woken up by some junkers that found him collapsed in the middle of the wasteland, I guess.
Yeah.
And they ask him if he's a junker as well, and he says, "No, I'm a star teller." Which means that basically he's going through with his plan still.
Yeah, he hasn't given up on it totally.
Yeah, he hasn't given up on his plan to leave the junking business behind and go from town to town giving presentations on the stars.
I actually think that'd be a really cool idea if we can actually pull it off. I don't know how you pull off having projection in the middle of nowhere.
Well, if he's a junker by trade, then obviously he knows how to salvage for stuff to build with. So I'd imagine he can craft up something pretty well. Perhaps he actually goes back and maybe makes a miniature version of Jenna.
Yeah, all I'm saying was the idea that I had was that he would make a portable projector that was capable of doing similar. Probably not the best quality, but at least similar stuff in the middle of the street. Something like that.
It's not necessarily about the projector. It's more about the fact that you
have the data.
Wouldn't have anything to project onto.
Yeah,
true.
And it really needs
the dome.
Because those domes are usually made at the proper distance for that projector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yumemi. She's the storyteller, and maybe with just that, it'll work out very well.
That's true. Actually, she gave the presentation without the projector working.
Yeah.
In episode 3.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But it's definitely I'm definitely looking forward to what they're going to do with the movie. I hope that's not just a recap because I can't take that death again.
Oh man. With this stinger, I don't think it's going to be a recap. I mean, if it is, that would just be a dick move because then they would have given us the falseness of hope.
Yeah.
And well, I wouldn't put it past Key, but I don't think they'd sink that low in triggering feels.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm definitely looking forward to the movie. So
very much so.
However, that's going to wrap it up for this time. So let us know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
Yep, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. But if you thumbs down, what the hell's wrong? Come on.
They didn't like my blowjob joke. That's going to do it for this episode of Anime Reaction. I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
And I'm Rizzo.
See you next time.
And I'm grieving.